You're gone and I gotta stay high.
Listen, sit down now. Sit down.
Drunk sex pest slapped woman's bum then smashed up loo in terrifying Heathrow jet rampage. Getty travelled man slapped woman's bum before causing £1,700 damage to toilet on flight. Adam Pitcher slapped a woman's bum then asked her gay male friend to suck his D*** before barricading himself in the plane's toilet. He then started smashing up the aircraft's loo at 30,000 feet. Isleworth Crown Court heard how the Air Canada jet's captain even considered an emergency landing as Canadian national pitcher, 36, went on a rampage. Related articles: girl left with Joker smile / after she told boyfriend SHES leaving diesel tax row. MPs urge government not to punish drivers as millions face crippling hike. Most pathetic fight I've seen. Viewers slam drunken brawlers for embarrassing punch-up. The captain feared that Pitcher, an alcoholic who had fallen off the wagon, was trying to break out of the plane. The pilot was making a mental preparation for loss of pressure and an emergency descent of his Boeing 777 with 388 passengers on board and considered Pitcher's behavior just one level down from an emergency. Pitcher slapped the 18-year-old woman's bottom shortly after takeoff on the flight from Canada to London, while waiting in a toilet queue. He then asked if she masturbated before being told she was gay, to which he replied, "Too bad." Getty emergency: the pilot on the flight from Toronto considered an emergency landing. Andrew Locke: in mitigation, he then went over to her gay 19-year-old male companion, tried to kiss him, and demanded he was given oral sex. Flight crew ordered the Canadian married dad of one to sit down, but Pitcher locked himself in the toilet. When Pitcher finally came out after causing £1,700 worth of damage, he was strapped into his seat using restraints and plastic handcuffs for the rest of the 7-hour flight. He was arrested when the flight from Toronto touched down at Heathrow on June 28 this year. Pitcher appeared at Isleworth Crown Court wearing glasses and a dark sweater over a white t-shirt and was joined by his father, who had travelled from Canada for the hearing. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual assault, one of being drunk on board an aircraft and damaging an aircraft. Pitcher was jailed for 4 months. Yatunde Martins, prosecuting, said Pitcher approached the 19-year-old man after assaulting his female friend and, after a brief conversation, tried to kiss him on the neck. Getty unwanted 36-year-old Canadian national Adam Pitcher also tried to kiss the woman's friend. The prosecutor added, he didn't manage to do this but said to him, "Can you suck my D***ck?" Flight attendants then intervened and Miss Martins added, the matter was reported to the captain and a warning was issued via the flight attendant, instructing the defendant to remain in his seat. He could only use the toilet or go elsewhere if he was escorted. However, a short while into the flight the defendant got up from his seat and proceeded to lock himself in the toilet, where he was heard to be kicking and punching inside the toilet cubicle. There was found to be damage to the vent, which was at the lower section of the toilet door. Members of the crew tried to remove him from the toilet, but he told them to F***ck off. The captain was advised of the defendant's behavior and he instructed that once the defendant was out of the toilet he should be restrained. Once he came out of the toilet he was put in plastic handcuffs and strapped into his seat with extra belts. The plane eventually landed and police boarded the aircraft and removed the defendant and arrested him. A statement from the captain read out in court explained he feared Pitcher was trying to break out of the plane during his tirade. The captain said, "I was worried he might be trying to get out of the plane." I had an increased heart rate and was worried he might be trying to get out of the plane because he realized the trouble he was in. We have a checklist of 1 to 4 in how we should deal with it, where 1 is low level and 4 is an emergency. We graded the male's behavior as level 3. Andrew Locke, in mitigation, said, "He is an alcoholic and has been since his late teens. This was his first drink in a year and unfortunately the recovering alcoholic fell off the wagon. He becomes a Jekyll and Hyde character. At home he is the most mild-mannered of men." Getty charges. Pitcher pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual assault, being drunk on an aircraft. It was 2 hours of madness. He is a 36-year-old man, a Canadian national, who was on his way to take a job transporting an oil rig from Oslo to Canada. He lost his job as a result of this appalling behavior. Sentencing Pitcher, Judge Andrew McDowell said, "Your behavior was disgraceful and one of the factors in a long-haul flight is people who in other circumstances would distance themselves from you have no opportunity and are stuck on a plane. You relapsed in a big way on this occasion. It seems to me the overall sentence has to be one of custody." He was also ordered to pay £1,700 for the damage he caused, £700 in costs and a £115 victim surcharge. When the judge asked about Pitcher's ability to pay for the damage, his dad said, "I can pay in full today using my credit card." He had also bought a ticket for his son, but Pitcher was sent back to Wandsworth prison to serve his sentence.